Hello there YouTube. So, as you can tell, I'm back in my shed. Now, as I mentioned in the previous video, that was going to be way too long with the glue up section. So, this is actually episode 4 of my GGBO kit build, and it's going to be showing the footage of my glue up, which I failed a few times. Soon you'll see that, and you'll be able to laugh at yourself, just like I did. Honestly, going through the footage, I really should have just done what I did in the second part of it, but what can you do? So once you've seen the glue up, I will be taking all the clamps off, checking everything, talking through any issues that I may have found, and then it's going to be rough cutting the body. Now, because of obviously the length of the last video, I may very well end up doing the routing of the actual body in a separate video. Now, that's not determined yet because currently I'm not doing any work in the shed today. As you can tell, the hair's down-ish. Easy wrapping it up when I'm in here. But yeah, so I'm not going to be doing any work at the moment. It's mainly because I need to get some more footage edited and everything else. So I'm not going to determine what I'm going to do like I did last time, because obviously that never ended up happening. But that's enough talking. I'm now going to roll the footage of the first section of my glue up. Alright, so this part of the footage probably isn't going to be the most interesting. So I'm going to glue this up now. What I realised was I can use my templates as the top and bottom core to make things a lot better, because they're perfectly straight rather than using a very bowed piece of MDF that I've just noticed. And yeah, I don't actually have a proper scraper for spreading this out, so I'm just using an offcut from Mazzarano wood, and I am going to be using Gorilla wood glue. It was mainly the first wood glue that I found, and it actually works pretty well for me so far. I have done a thing with this that I haven't mentioned on video yet, but whilst this is gluing up, I am going to be doing a few more of my previous work videos, so all will be revealed soon. I know that I can get hold of a tight bond type wood glue in the UK, but I've never really used it, and I'm pretty sure this is still the original bottle I first bought. I think I bought this for, stupidly, for gluing in the nut on my SPH Mark II, SPH 2 Mark 1. I'm pretty sure I used it for that, which obviously didn't really work because it's meant to be super glue. Now, I'm going to probably fail at this a few times. People are going to hate me in the comments, but never glued a top on. This is the first time I'm doing it, so, you know, luckily this glue takes forever to cure anyway. Now, you know what? Let's just use my finger. Hindsight, probably should have got myself a little scraper. I know that that's what everyone else does. I've seen it, but I didn't think of that. I just kind of came in here, and this gluing this on is kind of spur of the moment as well. Like, I wasn't really thinking of it until I came back in here to re-record that a little bit, that I thought probably should glue the top on before I fully rough cut this guitar out, because that way I'm not going to mess up. In theory. I'm probably going to mess up somewhere else, but that's the joys of builds. Now, I may be using way too much wood glue here. There's probably going to be a lot of squeeze out, but I would much rather have a little bit too much than too little. And obviously I can clean up all the squeeze out. I've got some workshop towel in here that I specifically bought for this kind of thing. I got 2-pack so that I could use it for doing stains as well. So I've got like lint-free rags, but they seem to absorb the stain more than the lint-free roll does. So that's why I've gone with that, and I need to make sure that I keep that in good view. Yeah, this section of the video, obviously I'm going to be talking a little bit, but it's how you guys get to know me. Like, I've realised that I've been, you know, a lot of my videos I'm just sat in front of a camera. I'm very boring, I'll be honest. As much as I love talking about my previous work, and stuff like that, this is probably more fun, definitely more fun for me. And obviously all that stuff's scripted, so it gets a bit, you know, boring sometimes. Anyway, that's that liberally spread over. And just to be safe, do the same on this brown wood. Again, yes, this may be overkill, but never glue the top on. So I just want to make sure that there is more than enough glue for this to work. So is there any areas that I'm not talking, I will be speeding up and going from there. That's why I just said to the camera that I need to speed up a little bit. Okay, here comes fun. Not. With my kidney is going to be fun. Maybe playing up to the sheer amount of glue I've put on. I've realised that now because it keeps moving. I'm going to pause this footage here because this is just failing. Alright, here comes attempt number 2. So I definitely had way too much wood glue on that time. But learning curve, all good fun. Now this, I've managed to use a piece of the offcut to scrape it off and get it where it should be. Go. I think I've cracked it. Maybe. Don't hold your breath, Scott. Yeah, in the areas where I've got a lot more wood, obviously I'm not worried about where my lines are because I haven't cut those out yet. It's mainly the bits where like I've not got a lot of material, so this end here, it's really important to make sure that's right. So I think what I have to do is I have to get the 4 corners. Cheers, this is going to be interesting. You see, that's fine. That's fine. Now where's my centre line? Huh, cool, I'm actually perfectly on the centre line there. Right. He's done it. He's managed it. Finally. There we go. That took a while, but I got there. Now. Yes, my hands are covered in glue. Oh well, I'll live. Now, obviously, I'm not going to try and I'm not trying not to over tighten these. I should say. Sorry, I couldn't get my words out there because this has just gotten a bit frustrating. Yep. See, luckily I remembered to draw the centre line at the bottom there. Anyway, let's get these weights, let's straighten this up. Get these weights on. Is that just the weight on? Okay, so I'm gonna turn my lovely things up, and I'm just gonna clean up some of the screws out, and I will talk to you in a sec. Alright, well, I didn't get all the glue screws out unfortunately, mainly because obviously it's in between these areas underneath everything, but it'll be fine. I do plan on using those as cauls, but I was just really struggling with it. As I stated, this may not have been the best glue up in the world. I've never had to glue a top on a guitar. This is the first time I'm doing it, so I'm learning as I'm going. What I ended up doing was, though, I used one of the offcuts. I'm sorry, it's stuck to the paper now because it's got more glue on it. I used one of the offcuts to scrape the excess off, and then I've glued it down, so it should be alright. Now, I thought at first it was like twisting because there was a bow in the middle, but obviously it turns out that's because I applied way too much wood glue. So this is where it's at. So I've got all my clamps on, I've got my weights in the middle. The tightness of these, I haven't over tightened them. I've literally just tightened them enough so the glue starts to squeeze out. And they're all equal pressured. Like, I can't, you know what I mean? I can't move any of them, they're all the same. So I know that the pressure is going to be equal. That's it for this section of the video. This is going to be a lot longer one because I want to get to the point where the body's rough cut out. So I'm ready for routing, cavities and stuff like that. So it's going to be a little bit longer. However, because I know how to fast forward my footage, as you've seen in the previous one, this should be a lot better. So, next stage, I'm taking all these clamps off. Alrighty, so I want to pick up where I left off in the previous scene of this video. Obviously, I've decided to do the glue up and all this lot as a separate video. So that's why I'm in here at the minute. So what I'm going to do is, just in this little section, I'm going to get all these clamps off, see how things look. So I did have to come in to something I did off camera. This little section here, it had pulled up a bit, so I managed to get another clamp in. And this is the reason why I wanted to come in today, to see how it's looking. Apologies for any background noise. Obviously it's, you know, middle of the day and people are out, which is fine. So I got 4 of those big ones, I didn't even use them. So no, I wouldn't need to. So obviously, as you saw from my glue up, I had a lot of excess, so it was a lot of cleanup, which was, say, fun. And this is the first glue up I've ever done, so it was all an experience. I definitely now know not to put too much wood glue on it. That was my dad's mistake, but what can you do? I mean, already looking at this, it definitely cures. So this is actually 2 days on from when I did the glue up part of this video. So obviously I left it to cure properly. I came back and checked it like 24 hours later, which is where I noticed the issue down here, and it was fine. Like, it started curing. There was only a little bit that wasn't cured. But I can see from this already, this is completely cured. Yes. So, as you've seen through the glue up, like, my biggest concern area was this bit. Now I've managed to do it so that the curve is going to work when I use the routing. And sorry, use the routing technique. The main reason why I was so bothered about this is, you may not have seen it on my practice body, but I did the template kind of wrong, and because it's a standard Telecaster, the curve down here, it actually goes it went curved and then straight because I put the template on wrong. So I was determined to get that curve right this time, which thankfully I have. Yeah. So there's going to be a little bit boring footage, but I'm just going through, checking all the areas. Yeah. So what I did on the bit that I noticed was pushing up a little bit. Yeah, so because it's in an area where it's going to get routed away, it was only like the smallest amount, but I didn't want to run the risk of chipping it off again. So I chucked some wood glue on it, I used a nail, kind of pushed it in, and then it all worked. So I was quite happy with that. Now looking through the rest of it, it's a perfect bond, and it's Gorilla wood glue. Yeah, awesome. So that's going to be it for this little section of the video. I felt like doing this because obviously with the mix up and everything else with the length of my previous video that I was going to put it all together, didn't really work. I've done my little intro part as well, so go from there. But yeah, this is looking awesome. I think the next part of this is going to be finishing off the rough cutting, and then I'll be getting onto the routing. So I spent yesterday trying and failing to get this rough cut out. I don't know what was going on, to be brutally honest. Hindsight, I should have taken the body blank down closer to the actual shape before gluing this on. I was thinking of doing it from the opposite side, because in reality, again, I should have drawn the design on the back too, but I didn't think of that. So the majority of this is pretty much winging it. I managed to do it, tried using my router, but because of the amount of material, it was jumping and it tried to get way too close to the Zabrana wood. Also, I had the bad feeling, just looking at this now, I think I've cross-grained my top and my body blank, because I can see the cuts here that were going against the grain. I'm pretty sure the grain's that direction, and from the feel of that, that's going against the grain there and coming around this way. Maybe not entirely sure, but either way. So what I've done is I've just altered the setting on my jigsaw so that it can do the relief cuts. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm going to go in, get all the relief cuts done. That way I know where it is from the back. Any areas that I can cut off straight away from this side, I will do. But yeah, I don't want to go on the back too much because I don't have the design on it. I do have the center line on it now because that was something else I tried. My logic was I have, which I've mentioned before, a very cheap jeweler saw, but it's not the greatest. I mean, it's that tiny little thing. So it'd work for a little bit, but then the blade would start to buckle and it was just annoying. And then it was the prospect of using my electric sander, which hurts my arm because of the vibrations. Then I thought to use my Shinto saw. I've thought of pretty much everything at that point. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and put a load of relief cuts in this to be able to cut it out. So hopefully this footage isn't going to be too boring, and I will stop talking now. And I'll try my hardest not to talk through this so that it's not too long. I do, however, think with this, I think the routing's going to be a different video. Anyway, that's enough talking. Get my tunes turned on. Let's get this done. Hopefully. Alright, well, let's stop the cutting there a second, because I did draw the template, sorry, the design on the back of it. This was early today before I started recording this. Now, I've done all these relief cuts, as you can see, which is where I'm able to go. Apologies for the cough, like, the hot weather really messes my chest up. Obviously, in this area here, where I've got this nice little off cut, it's a bit difficult to get a cut in there. And the sudden realisation when I stopped, paused for a second, and then just went like that, is I might be able to use, see, I've got some Triton chisels that I might be able to use for that. But, see, because I don't want, my big worry is if I go around this on the back side without the actual proper design done, as I say, in hindsight, should have done it on the back first. Realise that now. But, I mean, even if I do it so that I'm cutting through these lines here, so I've left a lot of the outline, because these lines on the back, sorry, let me just get this up. So the lines on the back here go that far in, which they're not that far off the original line. That's what I was going with. I went with the original line on some of them that I drew for the design. Not sure if you saw that. Yeah, so I have got a relatively, it's this bit that I'm really struggling with. So because of, sorry, the joys of how that's cut. Because of this base, I can't get in properly. Now, I'll admit, I thought about taking the base off, but then I changed my mind on it. I don't want to risk it. So yeah, I'm just going to pause the footage here, figure some more things out, and I'm going to carry on with the cutting. Alright, so what I just did off camera, as I mentioned about the relief cuts being quite close to the original design, and I looked at the drawing that I made on the back, what I've done is, see, the hardest parts in the front are these areas. Because of the top, that's what I mean, hindsight, should have cut this out closer. Because of the top and because of this base on my jigsaw, I can't get in there. Now, as you saw, you may have seen from the areas where I had to sort of angle it to get it in, it wants to jump. So I know that taking that base off that is not an option. I mean, it's not safe. But also, even if it's jumping with that on it, that's going to be a problem. But you may not be able to tell. I mean, hopefully my lighting's all right in here. So I looked at where the original drawing was that I did earlier today before recording this, and I've taken it in a few mil. So as you can see there, look, you can see like my entire relief cuts. I've not gone to the full depth of them. This bit here, I'm not really worried about because that will route away, no problem. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to start at this end. So I really want to get this section done. You know what, the joys of doing this build. I may have made mistakes. Now this is the only guitar I have designed that has a top on it. And originally, in the planning stages, I was going to do a two-piece one. So obviously that would have been fine because it's a lot thinner, but as I've said about my practice build, I need a lot more practice with hand tools. So being able to get them planed down properly and join it together, that's going to be a lot longer process. Which is why, sorry, again, hot weather really messing my chest up today. Which is why I went with that Zebrano wood top anyway, because it was already pre-jointed. So it made life easier. Same with this. This was already pre-jointed. So yeah, in hindsight, having that original video would have been better, but didn't happen. So I'm just kind of, as I said at the beginning of this section, kind of winging it, but so far it seems to be working. As I say, my biggest worry is just going too far in and hitting the Zebrano wood, which straight away feeling this, I'm not going to. If I make that cut up to that line, it's going to be fine. I think the easier way would be also to put some cuts in the middle of these as well. I'm figuring it out as I go along. So I'm going to stop talking and get some cutting done. Battery's dead. Well, typical. Okay. Well, my battery's died on that one. And I didn't bring my 2 amp one in. Don't know why. Yeah, it's just where I fix that. Okay, so as you can tell, doing these relief cuts is definitely the smartest idea. Yeah, I've not got perfectly close. Like, that bit freaked me out because I thought I took a massive chunk out and I completely forgot that I'd route some of it away. Yeah. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this off camera because the videos are already going to be very long, even with me speeding parts up. But off camera, I'm going to grab my 2 amp battery, finish off this last little cut, and figure out what I'm going to do with these bits. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, I might not leave it off camera, see how I feel. I'm just going to go and grab that battery. Alrighty, so the 2 amp battery's in. However, probably not going to do too much footage because I need to clean up all this mess. So I'm going to get this last little cut done. So I'm mainly just going to get this bit here and around to this side and then see where I'm at properly. Well, good job of me calling it quits there, because my headphones just died. That's not bad. Same as a Bluetooth transmitter. Can't remember last time I charged them. Anyway. Oh, one thing I didn't mention. I've got like glue, sawdust, and other little bits on the front of this body. I knew there was a reason why I wanted to put that on. Ew. So I've dinted the body a little bit on this, the front. I knew that was probably going to happen because of not having the template on it. Anyway, these things can be fixed. Sanding is a beautiful thing. Yeah, anyway. So I've gotten very close to the line, apart from up here. And I've got very close there, but like when I was trying to turn, it just really didn't want to turn properly for me. I don't want to risk wrecking my Zebrano wood. So, definitely going to leave this part of the video here. Because as I stated in the previous section, this is getting a little bit too long to chuck into one video, even though I'm going to be speeding the majority of it up. So, yeah. That's it for this. Right, so I'm leaving this episode here. I really feel like there's just a lot of footage, and even speeding it up, it's going to be very long. Now, my first episode, yeah, that was like half an hour, but that was before I got a new way of editing my videos. I still use iMovie, but I do it on a MacBook now. So on my iPhone, I can only times it by 2, whereas on my MacBook, I can times it by 20 if I want to. I don't always, but sometimes I do. It's quite funny seeing myself go that fast, because I really wish I could go that fast. Anyway, the point where I'm at now is I'm going to hopefully flip my camera around. There we go. Right, so that's where we're at the minute. So it's not perfect. I mean, I've got all this lot to do and sort out. But as I say, my biggest worry was definitely wrecking my Zebrano wood. I think I'm going to do a few tests off camera of the best way to get this down. As I stated, like I went on a certain part and the router just jumped, so I wasn't risking wrecking this. But I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do yet, so I'm going to do a few tests off camera. Now, the eagle-eyed amongst you may have spotted something hiding in the background on my bench, clamped up. That's a little practice I've got for some really cool things I'm going to do to this guitar. So all will be revealed soon. I've also got a couple of pieces of bodywood for practicing stains. And originally I stated that I was going to try and do a Zebrano wood control cavity cover, but I don't have a piece big enough, and I don't have any pieces that the grains kind of match it. It would look really off in comparison to the main top wood. So that's not going to happen. The control cavity cover is going to just be black pickguard material on the back of the body, so something that will doesn't have to be perfect. Yes, so they will be coming in a later video once I get towards the staining side of things. I've already done some practice stains and I'm having a lot of fun with it. I really can't wait to get this finish done. However, I've just realised, looking at my time, I've been talking for about 2 minutes, and obviously I don't want this video to be too long. So, as always, my social links are down in the description. So I've got Facebook and Instagram on there. Feel free to like, follow, all that kind of fun stuff. If you enjoy the video, give us a thumbs up and possibly subscribe to the channel. Also share it with your friends, that would be greatly appreciated. As always, when I do these kind of videos, GGBO link is down in the description. If you want to follow my build, click on the 3 lines at the top right of the screen. 2022 contestants, kit builds, and then you can find my profile. And not only can you follow myself, you can follow everybody that's part of this competition in every category. They deserve all the credit in the world. They're some amazing builders. And I've never said this so far in video, I've realised by talking it back, but they're an amazing community. This is the first time I've been part of Great Guitar Build Off, and some of the help and advice throughout the beginning process of this, it was amazing. It was really nice, and they're all still so supportive of each other. There's no horrible competition between each other. We're all just having fun, building guitars and making sawdust. So please go and support them. They deserve it. That's all from me in this one. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next.